Everybody. Um, I've decided to. What is going on here? Hold on 1 second. Oh, that was ugly. Okay. Well, we're just gonna give it to God and see what He does for us. Um. All right. Stop touching shit. Okay, we're good. Um. From everything that has been going on, especially in our daily lives, some people have developed this let's talk about people we know behind their backs. Now, with that being said, let's talk about it because at the end of the day, we're all human. Okay? At the end of the day, we still communicate with people we probably shouldn't, but we may not all know it at that time. So we continue to divulge our information to these people. And it spreads. It spreads like wildfire. So while we're talking or venting to these people, it's it's not always beneficial to us in the long run because it what we tell them can come back to bite us. And what we say can be taken out of context. And I was recently, I wouldn't say a victim, but I was recently put in that position. I was put in that situation. And hold on 1 second. Okay. Um, actually, no, we're good. Okay. What is going on? I'm sorry. As always, when I use my computer, I do check the upload and download speed, and it seems to be a bit off. Um, yes. Sorry, I got a text from my mom. Um, but neither here nor there. Anyway, you go right there. I mean, it's sad that the people that we choose to vent to take what we say and and run with it. And we have to pay the price for it. And recently, I was in that situation. I had to pay the price for venting. And now I'm still having to deal with it because the person I thought I could trust showed me who they really are. And I've seen this happen to, excuse me, other people. They tell me about it. Okay. And what people tell me, I don't run and tell the entire country. I don't. So what they tell me stays in my mental vault because I don't want to be looked at as untrustworthy, mean, hurtful, disrespectful. I don't want people to see me like that because that's something that I'm not. So I keep what they say. And I'm going to be perfectly honest. When somebody tells me something, I don't retain it. I mentally do not retain it because it's not my information to retain. So several people throughout my teenage, young adult years have shared things with me that has gone on in their personal life. And I have never repeated it. I do not bring it up because one, I may not remember. Two, bringing something up that somebody went through is completely disrespectful and hurtful. So that is something that I just won't do. So since I have been put in a situation to where I was venting to someone and they ran like the cowards they are to someone else, and that person put me in a situation to where I was physically hurt, mentally hurt, psychologically hurt, and I'm dealing with PTSD from that situation. But they don't care because it wasn't them. They say, "Oh, it was in the best interest of you." No, it wasn't. It was in the best interest of you, not me. So I've discussed it with one person that was involved in it, that set everything in motion. And again, I trust people even less now because of that situation. Hold on. Right. I just got a text saying that it was in the best interest of the company, which is true. That's factual truth. But there are certain people that I trust and have trusted for a while. And when I say a while, I mean years. Um, my sisters know, my brother knows, and the, how do I want to say this? The company puppets, should I say. That's what I'm going to say, the company puppets. Because it started with the company puppets. So, I mean, at this point, what can I do? Um, I've lost respect for them. I no longer trust them with anything that comes out of my mouth. So, sorry, this morning I had to get up and make some iced coffee because I was craving it. So, I made my coffee, put the ice in my blender, chopped it up, and went from there. Anyway, I am dealing with PTSD because loudness and other things are, they make me jump when my sister just texted me and said, "Oh hell, ain't no telling what's gonna fly out of my mouth." She's right. She is absolutely right. And she has had to step in and be a filter for me because I don't have a filter. What are you sending my person? Yes, I say my person. Okay, my mom sent me something, but I'm going to have to check it out later. Um, and that's okay. Um, if it was drastically important, my mom would tell me. Um, but I'll check it out later, Mom. I promise. Right after I do my video, I will check it out. Um, but she has had to be a filter for me through many occasions. And I thank her for that because she knows exactly what I'm talking about. She knows where I can go. And when I say where I can go, I mean verbally. I mean, I can cut you down, cut you up, and shred you with my words and not feel anything about it. It's just the way I am. And I've been I've been this way for a very long time. So it's like over the years it has been perfected and now it's in my nature. Ooh. Yeah, it is. It is. PTSD is it's paralyzing. It's it will hinder. It can hinder someone in their daily life. PTSD is not something to play with. Although mine does not make me act violently, mine does not cause me to say anything. My PTSD makes me jump, and it pushes me into a state of shutdown, like I did yesterday at my mom's house. I don't know what triggered it, but I shut down mentally, and it caused me to be angered. Although I kept a lot of my anger in, it's just the aggression comes out. And lately, or since the PTSD started, I have been trying to not physically show it, but my anger is still doing this. It's not balanced. So now I'm having to work harder with my aggression and what comes out of my mouth and to who. And a lot of people don't understand how PTSD affects the ones that are dealing with it. They always want to medicate. They always want to do something to lessen the PTSD, but what they're doing is actually suppressing it. So with suppression comes a buildup of violence, aggression, emotional instability, mental instability, and it will cause so much buildup to where the medication that they prescribe to help no longer has an effect. So it can be violent. Whoever is dealing with PTSD, it can cause you to act physically on someone, and it's not directed at them. Just like last night, Guess what I found. Who is talking? What is talking? My freaking phone or my freaking watch. Joy cometh in the morning. My watch is nosy. Right. And like my sister said, anything can trigger it. A sound, a smell, a person, it's hard to deal with. Very true. It is very true. I know it wasn't you, but someone who has never had PTSD should research it before they try to tell someone how to cope with it. She's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Because it's not something that is easily dealt with. A lot of people that are dealing with PTSD have to they have to deal with it, you know, pretty much on their own because doctors just want to medicate. They don't want to get down and do the work to get to the root of it. They don't want to get to the source of it. They'd rather medicate and suppress, which I've noticed because I deal with. Sure. Hold on. Sorry, family comes first for me. Um, but PTSD is not something to play with because it not only is it can it be physical, it's also emotional, it's mental, it's psychological. It comes in many forms, and it can damage somebody. And I'm not talking about someone else that's not dealing with it. I'm talking about the person that is dealing with it. And I've noticed that so far. Last night, when I took my not medication, but I took my nights is what I call them, so I can go to sleep because I'm a major insomniac. So I can stay awake for about 24 to 36 hours with no sleep. So I have to take my nights so I can sleep. But I got so aggressive and so angry last night because I am dealing with a lot. Okay. I'm dealing with a lot mentally, financially, physically, emotionally. And a lot of people don't know what I'm dealing with because I don't say anything, because it's not for them to do anything about. It's for me to do something about. But neither here nor there. I was triggered last night. And it's I'm just very thankful that I did not have to walk anywhere. Sometimes I can walk to my mom's house and walk back, but I had my car with me. Well, actually, I drove, not with me, but you know what I mean. And I took my aggression out, some of it, on my gas pedal. Okay, I made my car do things it hasn't done in a very long time. Usually that calms me down. Usually that gives me some sense of joy and pleasure. Not last night. Not last night at all. Because PTSD ties into my anger. It's like I already turn into the Incredible Hulk when I'm angry. But to add PTSD to it's almost like I turn into a ticking time bomb. And for me to be so close with my family and it's not for them, it's bad. And now I have to try different ways to basically shut out the things that are irritating me so they won't catch it because it's not for them on any level. And that's what doctors don't seem to grasp. They always want to run to their textbooks, and their textbooks lead to medication. Nobody is trying to get to the source of it. Take, for instance, soldiers that have come back from the war. They are mentally out of sorts. They may be able to function to a certain degree. Yes, they have PTSD therapy. Yes, they have therapy for this, that, and the third. But nobody is willing to take the time to get to the source of it because they think that, oh, we'll just give them some medication. They'll be fine in about 6 months. Granted, that may be true for some people, But for somebody that is not coming back from the war, somebody that has never gone through war, there is still a trauma. There is still a trauma that they are dealing with, that they are living with. And they're still not trying to pull it to the surface. Granted, again, PTSD can cause somebody to be physically violent. I get it. But like for me, when I close my eyes, I relive that night of trauma that I experienced. I relive it. And I don't react physically, I react emotionally. Because, again, it was mental, it was emotionally, it was psychologically. I try to process the trauma that I went through and experienced, but I can't because I've never experienced a trauma. I've never experienced having any form of PTSD. So now, loud noises, loud sounds make me jump. People throwing their trash into the dumpster makes me jump. You know, Loud people verbally makes me jump. Things that normally would not affect me make me jump. Excuse me. So, when I hear the loudness, my mind is telling me to retract. When I came home, I literally sat on the side of my bed in a ball and I was crying like a child because I could not process what I went through. Doctors are prescribing medication. I'm not taking the medication. I can't because I don't need it suppressed. I don't need it to be masked. It needs to be dealt with. And that's what people don't understand. Friends, family, for other people, they can help with it. But a lot of people don't understand it or don't know how to help. So they in they inadvertently end up triggering the PTSD and they don't know it because they're trying to help, which is a good thing. Having that support system, that helps. It really does. But trying to suppress PTSD, you're doing more harm than good. Because later on down the line, when the medication stops working, that person still has to deal with it. That person still has to live with it. And if they act on the effects of PTSD, they want to hospitalize and strap them down and give them medication that they don't need instead of getting to the source. That first night I was back home, I mentally had to talk myself through it because while I was going through the mess, I couldn't process. I couldn't. My mental state would not allow me to show emotion during the whole time. So when I finally got home, I mentally and emotionally and psychologically shattered because the whole time I was holding myself together with crazy glue, so to speak. Everything up here and in here was being held together with glue, crazy glue. So I had to remain that way for so long. And when I got home and I was by myself, I shattered. Like, even now, it's been, what, 2 weeks? And I still cry in my sleep because of what actually took place. A lot of people don't know that, and that's fine. I still cry in my sleep because I wouldn't allow myself to show emotion while I was away from home. I still won't, because I try to suppress my emotions so I don't feel it. While I'm awake, I have to be busy. I have to be doing something so I won't stop and my mind won't pause and relive it. And a lot of people think I'm perfectly fine. I'm not. And a lot of people are not perfectly fine dealing with a trauma that has caused them to have PTSD. And, like the description of this video, who cares what people say, think, or feel about you? Let them talk. But at the same time, while they're talking, they're not doing anything to help. And that's not something that we can change. We can't force them to be better for us. We can't. And it not only does it tie into PTSD, it ties into, needing a safe place to vent, having a safe place to talk, having someone there to just listen. And with that, it causes people to shut down and shut everybody out. It's sad, honestly, because everybody wants to walk around like they're perfect and like they're just this picturesque person, but yet nobody really knows what's going on with them because, one, they don't ask. One, they're not a good friend, or they're not in that position to try and help or try and be there. So a lot of us walk around like nothing's wrong. I'm guilty of it. I do it. And I have to. I have to. I don't have a choice. Because if I keep allowing my emotions and the psychological and mental trauma to control me, I won't be able to function. Like, I've told my friends and my family often, you know, I stopped doing what I was doing. I used to drink vodka like water every day, sometimes all day. And it didn't affect me anymore. So I stopped that. Everything that was not good for me, I stopped on my own. That's how strong of a person I am. I didn't have to wean myself off of it. I just stopped cold turkey. And I felt nothing. I felt better. Like to this day, I still don't do what I used to do. I don't. Did I want to go buy a bottle when I got home? Yes. But I thought to myself, what good would that do? What purpose would that serve me? I'm suppressing it. I'm running from it. I'm hiding from it. I'm choosing not to deal with it. I have to deal with it. I have to. I don't run from things that I have to deal with. I may put it on the back burner for a little bit. I might take a step back. I might pause. But it's in my best interest to pause. So running from a situation isn't going to fix it. It's not. All you're doing is suppressing it. So it's very important to have a strong, trustworthy support system. It's good. It's beneficial, not only to you, but to your family or to your friends, whoever you have that you can trust that will be there just to listen. Maybe even give you some suggestions on how to relax your mind. It's very important, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like last night, when I laid down, I started to cry. No joke. Honestly, I started to cry because I keep feeling what was done to me. And it's traumatizing. And right now, what is this? Okay, whatever. God bless in all your parts. Um, because I'm trying to process what happened 2 weeks ago. And I can't. I've talked to my mom, I've talked to my brother. Well, actually, my brother was there for the most part that night. My mom heard it. So that is hurtful for me because they had to experience that with me. And I could not get to them. My brother couldn't get to me. Nobody could get to me. So I understand what PTSD can do to somebody. I understand. Hold on. Hello? Hi. Right. Okay. again, I'm getting conflicting information. So one person says this, another person says that, and another person says something else. So at this point, what am I supposed to believe? Because my car has been sitting there for a while, and the storage fees are racking up. So what is the purpose of having Toco as my warranty, so to speak, for my car? No, nobody is trying to do anything. You guys keep saying the same thing, but yet at the same time, there's other work that needs to be done on my car. So what am I supposed to do with that? Because everybody's saying that the claim was denied, but yet here I am sitting here knowing the fact that there's other work to be done on my car. So why can't that work be done? And I'll take care of whatever that was stated before. There's fluid changes, there's checks. I mean, w- so do I. Okay, so who is this Joe person? Okay, so yesterday nobody could tell me who this Joe person is. Now I'm hearing that he's a mechanic and this, that, and the third, but yet again the information does not match up. Gathered this morning. Now, here's the thing. And since everybody wants to keep repeating themselves, I guess I can repeat myself too. When I purchased the car, I was not aware nor informed of the control arms. How was I supposed to know this? But yet nobody is saying that, oh, we heard so and so say this. Nobody is saying, oh, we heard so and so say that. So how am I supposed to know? Was I expected to crawl up under the car on my back and take a look at it? So basically, I'm paying $100 a month for you guys to repeat yourself and say no to everything. That's great. But that is phenomenal. And why were there pictures taken of my car? My license plate is on my car. I do not feel safe with anybody taking pictures of my license plate. So why can't I have those photos? Why can't I have those photos? Why didn't anybody call me that day? It's yes. Why did my mechanic have to call me and ask me if anybody called me from Toco? Why am I not being emailed those pictures? I'm right now I'm going on hearsay, and that is not okay. I need to see the proof. I need to see the evidence of it. I have nothing to go on but hearsay. So you're keeping the proof from me, the owner of the car. How is it not supposed to be distributed to the consumers when we are at the crap end of the stick and we can't even see it for ourselves? But yet we're expected to pay for it when we can't even see it. Again, that is hearsay. I'm fully aware. But yet and still I say, has anybody even heard Wendy say you didn't know about it, so don't worry about it? Funny how that has not been determined, but she told me. I know what options I have available to me in regards to my car at his shop. But my question is, this car was not purchased brand new. It's a 2008. So how am I supposed to know what TOCA will cover with my warranty that I'm paying for every month if I'm not fully aware of what's going on? I'm not going to keep doing this round and round circus act with TOCA because the car was not purchased brand new. So there might be things that are going on with the car. I'm not aware of it. I didn't have any issues when I drove the car to and from California. The car was fine. Portia, Portia. But if you guys are claiming that this was a pre-existing issue, what else are you going to say is pre-existing to wiggle out of your contract? I see the contract. I know what is covered. But my question to you is, what else are you guys going to say is pre-existing? Because when I drove the car to California and back, I've been driving it around the city, and not once did I feel anything up until recent. The car was not shaking when I drove it to California. That seems to be excluded from what everybody is hearing. So if the car was fine when I drove it from one state to the other and back, and then drove it around the city, there was nothing wrong that I felt. The car wasn't shaking. Yes, you did. And thank you for that. I also went over it with you so I can physically see it for myself. But at the same time, this car was not purchased brand new off of a dealer's lot. So what may have been, I was not made aware of it. So whatever issues it may or may not have, I'm paying for the warranty for the car. That's what I'm paying for. I'm paying the warranty for the car to be covered. But it seems like Toko does not want to do anything about it. So I'm paying Toko for no reason and have been paying Toko for no reason because this issue is major. The car can literally break down or flip over due to its control arms, and Toko saying, "Oh well, thank you for the money." But there are no options for me. You guys are literally saying, So, what you just said, again, I'm not mad at you. You're just doing your job. I'm really not mad at you. I cannot be mad at you. That would make no sense. But my question now is, how is it okay that, you know what? I'm not, because I just, paying all of this money is not okay. But yet, I've seen how other people have had issues with Toko. I now have seen that. If I would have known that other people have been having the same issue, I would not have signed a contract with Toko. I would not have done it. Several people have had similar issues with Toko. How can you provide a contract for service and then not give us what we're or not give us, but not provide to us the services that we are paying for? How is that okay? This is just bad, bad. Again, I'm not mad at you. I'm frustrated. Okay, so this leads me to another question that you may or may not be able to answer. And since we are on the phone speaking, um, when I took my car to Dodge, they quote unquote did an inspection. 90% of what they informed me of was okay. Things were okay. Now, since they did inform me that a lot of it was okay, if they did an inspection, a thorough inspection of the car, they did not mention anything about control arms, boots, nothing. So I was relying on Dodge, which is, everybody knows who Dodge is. There are Dodge dealerships and service centers all across America, I would assume. How can they have done an inspection and not have caught this or said anything? Trust me, if I would have known beforehand, I wouldn't be going back and forth with you guys. I wouldn't. I would have made arrangements to take care of it beforehand. So I don't know if I should be on the phone yelling at Dodge or if I should be sitting here like, okay, now what? If that makes sense. Hello? Okay, I'm sorry, your audio went out for a second. Um, uh, right, right. Wow. Okay. Now, would it be possible for me to go through Toko to get the parts needed? Yes. To be honest with you, to be honest with you, again, this has nothing to do with you. I have truly lost all faith with Toko because my car was not purchased brand new. So I don't know, again, what's going on with it. Um, I mean, at this point, it's pointless. Honestly, to me, it's pointless. But hey, what do I know? Well, I'm giving up with it. I'm just finished with it completely. Um, like you said, nobody knows who Joe is. I have a number. Okay. Okay, that's great. I have a number for him. I called him yesterday, left a message. I texted him, and I texted him again this morning. Apparently, people see or feel that they don't have to respond to people. So that right there, I've had enough. I'm sorry, I've just had enough. What if I choose to keep the extended warranty, and this happens again? I'm washing my hands of it because I can't keep paying for something that is not in use. I'm throwing money away right now. So once I take care of this issue, I will see what I can do, what the next outcome is, and that will determine whether I keep Toko or not. Because at this point, I can just slowly get the parts that's needed, and without having to pay that extra $100 a month. Honestly, so I'm going to let you go and possibly tell somebody else no, um, and figure it out from there because I'm over it. Hopefully, I won't have to call you guys ever again in life. Have a good day. Okay, and we're back. I just wanted to get that on live because Toko is full of shit. And I've done a previous video on Toko before. I've left a review for Toko on Google under their link, and one was done 6 days ago. One was done. I'm sorry, two were done 2 months ago. I see a month ago. I mean, it's an ongoing situation with Toko. Okay, so I'm from what I've been seeing, Toko is a complete mess. A complete mess. So, as I've said in numerous videos, well, in my previous video, if you have a car, do not go through Toko. I believe when my mom had her 300C Executive Edition, loved that car. And my brother had his Magnum RT, loved that car. I believe they had Mopar. Okay, so I, I don't know how the next thing is going to play out. I don't. So I'm spent with Toko. I'm spent. So homemade iced coffee is so good. It's so goodly good, good, good. Um, but everything seems to be happening at once. And oh, while I'm sitting here, let me take a quick peek see at what's going on with my coin because people seem to want to play with my coin and I'm not amused. What is this? God help us all. My mom is silly. She's just so silly. And I love her very much. Um, this computer is just dumb. Enter. Anyway, and even going back to the whole PTSD thing, I, the devil, has caused me to throw myself into the future. Okay, I don't know the future. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not psychic, and I'm not any of that. Well, I just know I'm gifted, but I'm not logging in to chat. What I do need to check on is my coin because people want to play with it. So that means I'm going to have to become a raging a-hole. Okay, that's not how you spell that. And this cows, you know what? Uh huh. Ah! Normally, I don't look at my hands when I type, but considering there's a glare on my face, this computer, you know what? Normally, I don't look at my fingers when I type, but since there's a glare on me, and my computer has, or my keyboard that I bought has a silicone cover, which I need to cut my claws because, okay, all right, I'm still not responding, you know, whatever. Yeah, okay, so this is still pending, and last time, no, last time I checked, um, it shows your name to approve it. So it seems that I'm being, normally when I'm on this computer, I have my glasses on. And as you can clearly see, I do not. You know what? In my opinion, Macs are stupid. I hate these hoes. Um, for some reason, and I'm not amused. Okay, so everybody has heard that PTSD, it comes in many forms on different levels. A lot of people don't know how to help with it. A lot of people don't know how to address it. Doctors are completely retarded when it comes to PTSD, and they always want to suppress it with medication. Um, you've heard part of the conversation with Toko, um, and now I'm trying to get specific answers from a certain person, which clearly does not have any answers for me. What is this? This is what I've been seeing on my phone. Yes, you did. Okay, so now I need to go through the emails. Okay, it's not here. I have nothing to say to you. Uh, no, still nothing. How convenient. Here we go. That's not it. I must say the heat coming from this computer is quite lovely, especially on my hands since I have what? I need people to stop telling me things like I'm stupid. Like I'm very far from stupid, but it's like people are so used to dealing with stupidity. Oh, look at God! Here we go. and you still have not said anything. So I have to go and deal with this fuckery. So I hope everybody has a good day. And, don't work too hard if you have to work today, because I know working sometimes can be a real bitch. So hope you all have a great day. Um, Hope to speak with you soon or talk to you guys soon. See you later. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me see if okay, flash a cola. I was talking to my computer because it likes to flash sometimes, and I don't know why. But any questions, comments, thoughts, worries, concerns, you can find me on Twitter at loyal, the number 2, my crown. You will definitely see a picture of me. And I believe, yep, it's the same picture that is on my YouTube. So I'm going to go, and I hope everybody has a great day. And don't work too hard. And I hope to be back later. Okay? Okay. Gotta go. Um, I'll be back at some point in life. Maybe today, probably tomorrow. But bye, you.